So, Sonny, Warren Buffett, is it talent? Is it effort? Is it personality? Is it interests? Is it luck? Is it timing? Is it surrounding? Is it motivation? Is it the right place? Is it his physical presence? Is it his mentality? Or is he just a happy camper? Quick, off the mark. Where do we start with this oracle from Omaha?
I think it's a combination of many. I think you can't put your finger on one, two, or three of them. It's a combination of many of them. If I can summarize the Oracle of Omaha, he's a guy who follows his interests, and those interests are very, very deep-seated interests. And I think, like any successful person, if you literally love, you are interested, and you are really moved beyond passion to do what you do, that is the hallmarks. That's the makings of some pretty awesome stuff in life. And that's what he's got in his corner. He loves what he does, particularly the attention to detail, the spreadsheets, the accounting, the numbers, the analysis. That's his bag. That's what he loves.
But but doesn't he need to have talent?
Warren Buffett, I think he recognizes that he's had some pretty successful milestones, and he's had some pretty
Hmm.
successful wins, but he's also lost his fair share. I'm going to drop in another famous person, if I may, because it kind of
Yeah,
relates
go.
to it. Michael Jordan. Okay, that famous quote about him missing all these shots, these
I
game-winning
missed a
shots.
thousand penalties.
That's the one.
Yeah.
He may have missed all these awesome shots and game losing endpoints, but he was a huge successful person, and he shaped basketball. I think Warren
Hmm.
Buffett, he's had some fantastic victories with, I guess, taking Berkshire Hathaway, which was what, a textiles company, I think, and
Yeah.
turning it into this holding company that just bought insurance companies after that. That's a bit of smarts, a bit of intellect, a little bit of luck. I think you can never underestimate the power of luck at the same time.
Hmm. So far we have at least effort,
Hmm.
he's put in the hours.
Hmm.
Uh, there's something about his personality because obviously he has the discipline
Sure.
and the stuff like that. We said something about a little luck. Yeah, I agree with you on that. How about surroundings?
Tell me more about surroundings.
No, I'm just feeling that surroundings is like uh, when you grow up, you grew up in a neighborhood. You have parents, you have uncles and aunts, you have the neighbors, you have the school. You start off on. You have the educational path. Maybe you do some army. Maybe you're lucky and you get a part-time job when you're growing up, and you meet a mentor there. That's what I'm talking about when it comes to surroundings. Would Warren Buffett be as successful as he is if he didn't, I don't know, have the environment around him that he did?
It's a good question. I think he had some pretty strong mentors along the way.
Hmm.
I think his father was probably
Yeah.
his strongest mentor, probably his first and strongest mentor along the way. Because I think his father was really into numbers and really into the share market and stocks and bonds and so forth. So that's probably where he got his initial influence along the way. Then he aligned himself with, I think, Benjamin Graham and some other quite high profile people in the securities industries. And he does surround himself with some pretty strong people. I think if
Hmm.
you extend that out beyond, Bill Gates is another person who he has aligned himself quite strongly. I think there are many advantages of being, on good terms with someone like Bill Gates as well.
Yeah, that makes sense at
But
all.
the one thing,
How? Yeah.
one thing that I kind of, looking at Warren Buffett, he's a simple guy. He keeps,
Hmm.
that acronym KISS, right? Keep it simple,
Yeah.
stupid, right? He really keeps it simple. I remember in the dot com, was it the dot com bubble, late 90s, remember the whole dot
Yeah.
com
Yeah.
thing, right?
Yeah.
He was that eventually was a bubble, and people lost a lot of money after they invested in a lot of money into this wave of technology. He was someone who chose not to get into that because he did not
Mm,
believe in the fundamentals. He keeps
no.
his investing very simple. He's a long term guy, and I like the fact that he plays the long game. And he kind of sticks it out. If he's got good fundamentals, he sees good value, he will stick it out for the long term. And it's like if you're in business, you've got to go in it for the long term. Because 9 times out of 10, your competitors are going to bail out early, right? If you stay in it for the
Mm.
long term, you're committed. I'm not saying you're going to throw all your money and lose all your money and lose a shirt off your back, right? But if you're there for the long term and you're committed, you stand a stronger chance of winning because your competitors will not stay in that long. I guarantee you that.
Isn't that a valuable lesson for everyone to bring into their life? It's like if you want to be good at anything, you're gonna have to stick to it. It's if you go to the gym and you want to be do 100 kilos squats. Okay, if you start at 50, you can end up at 100, but it's not going to take a week. It's going to take a couple of months. No, but it makes sense. Why is it? Do you think that so? Okay, so he managed to stay in there while other ones failed. Can we adhere that capacity to his personality? Because when there's a lot of money at stake, I do get why people can be stressed out. If you are representing billions of dollars and there's the markets are swinging up and down and the interest and everything is just all over the place,
Mm.
I do get why people get stressed.
Yeah, I think people get stressed because it's a very emotional time. It's a very, very emotionally
Yeah,
charged situation, particularly if you're on the verge of losing lots of money.
yeah.
But I guess it's not
He,
realized money, right? Because you don't know.
nobody still he has to has an immense belief in himself and the assessments that he's done. I mean, like, if you're reading the front page of the Wall Street Journal in back in 2008, when the big short, when the housing market crashed, how do you sit through that? Just not affected. Okay, I believe my one number, and the 99.9999% of everyone else, they are just mistaking. It takes some character.
Oh, it takes more than that, I think. I think it takes an enormous amount of,
Yeah,
I can't say the words,
big
right? The
balls.
plural. Correct. Cojones balls
Yeah,
or
when we
whatever you want.
can. Yeah,
It can take a crap load of that. And I recall that movie you're talking about, The Big Short,
yeah,
the role that Christian Bale played. I can't remember
yeah.
his name in the movie. He
I'm
was so
right.
resolute that
Yeah.
he was sticking to his guns where he was hemorrhaging money, but he was stuck to his
Mhm.
guns. You got to respect the hell out of that. But he could have got it wrong. That's the thing. It was the ultimate gamble. He could have got it wrong. But for every one that you got right, there is probably some ones that you'll get wrong in life. I think that's part of the deal as well.
Yeah.
You're gonna
So
lose sometimes.
but we have to give him some traits, because I said we were trying to dig down to uncover what is it that actually makes Warren Buffett, makes him the oracle.
Mm,
And obviously he needs to have an insane belief in himself, which in turn means that, and obviously proof is in the pudding. He has made results. There's no doubt about that.
mm.
But he still has to. He has to have some sort of, I don't know if you can call it understanding of the market, or it's just that his models, he believes in them, and it's not like he's silent about this. He has talks all over the place. He's telling everyone, "This is what I do. This is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to stick to it." And he succeeds every time. What do you call that kind of mentality? Is it a
He, but
name for it?
but he's maniacally focused on one thing, like focused beyond an obsession on one thing, and that's the markets. Nothing
Yeah.
else. Nothing else is within his sphere of concentration. So he is an inch wide but a mile deep.
But isn't, focusing on the markets kind of like focusing on the weather? The long game is relatively easy. I live in Norway. I
Mm,
do know that between December and February there
yeah,
will be icy and snow,
yeah.
but I'm not going to try to guess which days what's going to happen. And if you get it wrong, you have the wrong tires and you're going to crash your car. You see where I'm coming from? And it's the same with the market. Yeah, in the long run, we do know that the Dow Jones is going up. Prices on real estate, they're going up. But when and what's going to happen in between, and how much money have you borrowed? I mean, he is it is it the market that makes him, or does he make the market?
I don't think he makes the market because you're not privy to everything that's going to happen, and you can't predict everything. I think he responds
Yeah.
in a way which is just a little bit superior
Mhm.
to the average Joe Blow that's out there.
Yeah.
Whether it's something innately in him, he can just pick it. He just has this gut feeling that I should be going left. Because he
Mhm.
often will zig while other people will zag. He'll do the opposite of
Yeah.
what other people are doing. And that has contributed somewhat to, I think, to his
Yeah.
successful.
Because most people that are that stubborn or hard headed,
Mm.
they die. Literally they die because no, I'm it's supposed to be left. No, but if the turn isn't in the road and you go left, you're gonna hit the tree. It's just the way it is. But he just managed. So no,
But I think he would have had his fair share of disappointment. I think, like
yeah.
anyone in life, maybe we just don't hear about these things as much. But I'm certain he's had his fair share of losses, failures, disappointments, because that's part of the big picture of life where we all kind of go
Mhm.
through things. But what's important is kind of how you bounce back, how you respond, and how you view the situation. A lot of this stuff is sometimes beyond your control, but what is beyond his control, I think, has always been how he responds to whatever happens to him, and that's the secret sauce, I think, or part of.
No, but it makes sense. It makes perfect sense because obviously, as a person, you are complete or not complete. Depend. You have all these other factors that make sure that you're a happy person or not.
Mm.
Do you believe that happiness has a role to play in the success men like Warren Buffett have?
I think I think if you look for happiness,
Hmm.
I don't think you find happiness. I've come to this suspicion, I think, of late. This is only of late.
Yeah.
The more you look and seek and I want this is what I want this and this, the less sometimes you find it. It kind of eludes you. I think what you chase runs from you.
Hmm.
So how do I reframe the word happiness? Maybe he's finding happiness in the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know. And that's I guess if you can find happiness slash contentment slash this is cool, I'm okay with it. Like, good, bad, or ugly, I'm okay with it. God, that's a powerful thing.
Hmm.
So powerful. Not easy, but so powerful.
Yeah.
And I think Warren Buffett has come to peace, and he's come to some acceptance with the failures that he's had. But those successes that he's had, I think he said, okay, great, I've had it. That's fantastic. Doesn't make too much of an issue of it. I think the more you make an issue of this is what I've succeeded, aren't I great? I don't know. I sometimes think that works against you. You've got to kind of take those successes in your stride just as much as you take those failures in your stride. I don't
Yeah.
know if that kind of makes sense.
No,
It's a
but
little bit wacky.
obviously, no, no, no. It makes perfect sense because when it comes to happiness, let's not make it too complicated. To feel happiness, you have to feel sadness. It's kind of like
That's a
those
reference
two
point.
are,
Yeah.
yeah, they are interlinked. And what I'm kind of trying to dive into is that can you keep doing something for so long, so good, and be all in with all the risks and everything if it doesn't make you happy at some level, at least? Uh, Again, this is kind of getting back to there might be things that you are quite qualified for and really talented at, and you have a knack for it, to put like that. But still, if it doesn't make you happy, should you do it?
Can I throw a curveball into this? It's a bit of
Go for
a
it.
question,
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
question for a question, right?
yeah, yeah,
What about passion? And I know passion
yeah.
gets used a
Thank
lot
you.
in this
No,
world.
passion is super relevant. We're going to introduce that as another variable of in the being the best you can be matrix. Passion.
It could be
Yeah.
drive, just
No, no, no.
drive.
Let's use passion. Passion is a perfect word because here's the thing. And now we are drifting off script. But let's say you're a lawyer. We can use investment. Let's use the investment banker. Uh, and you have the one guy that loves it, like literally this is the most exciting thing he or she knows. They read about it before they go to sleep, and they listen to
Yep.
podcasts. They do everything about it and have perfect control over the market. These are the people you are competing with. So if you don't have that passion, you are competing with people that by default will be more knowledgeable, have their finger in more trends and everything. Can you really compete with that? Isn't passion a prerequisite for success,
Absolutely.
basically? Yeah.
Absolutely. Because when it gets hard, and I'm not going to say if it
Hmm.
gets hard, but when it gets hard,
When?
which
Yeah.
it does get hard, right?
It's gonna happen. It's gonna
It's
happen.
gonna
Yeah,
happen,
we've been
right?
there. Yeah.
Exactly. When it gets hard, if you're not passionately connected to whatever your
Mhm.
pursuit is, it's going to be significantly harder to get
Mhm.
through, to break through when the chips are down.
Yeah. So let's bring this back to our listeners, because I think this is important, because we're now talking about literally one of the most successful men in modern history, at least when it comes in measurable terms. We can apply KPIs here and say, based on these KPIs, he's been quite a successful man, and he's had a family, and he lives in a humble estate and drives a humble car. So obviously the money wasn't the thing for him. Yeah. So what we have uncovered so far, that you can read a lot about his investment strategies. You can, and you can do the personality test and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he obviously have a passion for what he's doing, and that's really important, because that passion has made him better at finding and absorbing information and developing an investment strategy that he has had an immense belief in, a belief
Mhm.
strong enough to, stand still even when the rain is pissing upwards and the winds are blowing everyone else out of the water. And he's managed to maintain that, and over time proved that he was right. Is that good advice? Is that something we can, hand over to people listening, that when it comes to at least at least things with high risk, which
Mhm.
investments are, you need to be passionate about it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Passion. When I think of the word passion, I think I
Yeah,
agree with absolutely everything you
yeah,
said.
yeah.
Just trying to think about where it might go from here, because you can be very passionate about what you do. We talked about he's made all this money,
Mm,
yet he's arranged to give, I think, something like 70 to 80% of his wealth
yeah,
progressively away. Right. So I think, but I look at this guy, I stand back
yeah,
from a different view and I look at him, I'm thinking, is this guy really about money? Is he really about generating money? If you're already, he's been giving money away since the early 2000s, like in a staggered format. So he's just
yeah,
giving away his wealth.
Yeah.
Is it really? And he drives the same car, lives in the same house that he has since the
No.
1960s or whatever. So I think he's passionate about what he does, but it's not about the end game in terms of making money. It's more than that. I think his why is huge, and it's has nothing to do with dollars. I think.
I think this is a. We're gonna end the show on this note, but we're gonna. I'm just gonna say one more thing that I just realized that, because what's really interesting about what we have kind of concluded with here is that you have this man that's made an immense fortune in a business that's basically just numbers, which is a numbers game, an analytical numbers game. And one would think that, okay, the best mathematician will win since it's a numbers game. And here we kind of end up on a whole nother note and say, no, what made him and probably makes him better than everyone else is that he's just more passionate about it. Yeah, he has the talent, he has the effort, he has everything else going for him. But the one thing that for me sticks out based on what I've read and what we've spoken about is passion.
Yeah, that's his that's his passion project. Absolutely,
I love it,
it's
Sonny.
huge.
Let's give this advice to our listeners, then, or viewers. Find your passion. That's
Find
gonna
your passion.
get you a long way. Find your
That's
passion
exactly it.
and
Yeah,
trust yourself.
yeah.
Okay, so everyone, if you want to follow us or hear more of our talkings, please hit the like button, and you'll see when we pop up the next time with something interesting. Yeah. Okay, Sonny. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay. Bye.